infinity. It is the ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the bottom of a man's soul and the depth of his sensitivity. This is the dimension of anticipation, a dimension we call the detective zone. I'm about to uncover another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of depth. A journey into the wondrous land of New York. The next stop, the detecting zone. You unlock this door with a key known as a detector. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, of light, a dimension of mind. You're moving into the land of both shadow and objects, of both things and idea. You've just crossed into the detecting zone. There is a dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is as vast as the beach where things are lost into infinity. It is the ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the bottom of a man's soul and the depth of his sensitivity. This is the dimension of anticipation, a dimension we call the detective zone. I'm about to uncover another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of depth. A journey into the wondrous land of New York. The next stop, the detecting zone. You unlock this door with a key known as a detector. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, of light, a dimension of mind. You're moving into the land of both shadow and objects, of both things and idea. You've just crossed into the detecting zone. There is a dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is as vast as the beach where things are lost into infinity. It is the ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the bottom of a man's soul and the depth of his sensitivity. This is the dimension of anticipation, a dimension we call the detective zone. I'm about to uncover another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of depth. A journey into the wondrous land of New York. The next stop, the detecting zone. You unlock this door with a key known as a detector. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, of light, a dimension of mind. You're moving into the land of both shadow and objects, of both things and idea. You've just crossed into the detecting zone.
Order signal. Let's clean this up. It was right there on the surface.
Of course there's no sound. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Let me know if you can hear me now. Am I good? No, yes, no, maybe a little bit. It's showing that I'm good. So, hopefully I'm good. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Alright, I'm seeing that I'm good, so I'm going to assume that I'm good. Yeah, I'm just going to assume that I'm good. There you go. You're good. You're good. I'm good. Great. That's awesome. Yeah, just because I have to start over then. What I was saying was that this stream is going to be a little bit different than my normal streams, because I'm going to be talking about a hunt I did recently, and also a book I just finished recently reading, The Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub. But yeah, I had done a hunt at Orchard Beach that I didn't put on YouTube, because I wasn't recording that hunt in a way that I usually record. I tried my hand at live streaming, and on YouTube, they don't let you live stream unless you have 1,000 subs. So I don't have 1,000 subs. So I had to live stream on a different website. I live streamed on Twitch. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I should have started off with that. Willie. Thank you for reminding me. How's everyone doing? Good evening, everyone. I have a little bit of water. It's late here in New York. It's almost 10:30 at night. And yeah. But first, before we get into that hunt, because it should be interesting, uh, just you know, the hunt alone will be very interesting to go over and talk about. I want to talk about this book because I'm a huge and avid reader of Stephen King, and I read Stephen King's The Talisman, and it was weird, man. It was very strange. I started this book just coming off of Pet Cemetery, which was an awesome book. Hey Meryl, how you doing? Hey everyone in chat. Hey Marty. Hey Brooklyn, Treasure Hunter. Hey John Perez. And anyone else? Did I miss something? There's got to be somebody here that I've missed. No, actually, that's everybody that chatted in the chat. Hey guys, how you doing? And so yeah, coming off of Pet Cemetery, which was very interesting and had me looking up Wendigos and Native American sort of interesting, like scary beliefs from Native Americans, and just keeping me up at night reading Pet Cemetery. I go into this, which I can't recommend this book at all, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's sci-fi, and I don't mind sci-fi. Let me tell you, I love Star Trek. I love a lot of sci-fi things, but this book was so random. Like, stuff happens, and I'll talk about like the storyline, but stuff happens sort of haphazardly, and it's put together in a way that just makes sense because that's the way the author wanted it to be, and it doesn't make sense in a logical way. So the story of the Talisman, very quick to summarize. Kid has his mother dying of cancer. This kid's mother is dying of cancer, and he goes on a journey to get a talisman to cure her. And there's two worlds. There's the world you're living in, and another world they call the territories. And he has the ability to flip into this other world because this guy gave him a drink that allows him to flip. But then when he finished the drink, it turns out he always had that ability in him. Conveniently, I don't know why, I don't know how he wasn't granted this power. It just happened. Very strange the way the book was put together, and things like that happen the entire time. He meets up with the Wolfman, who goes with him on his journey until something terrible happens to the Wolfman, and then he meets up his friend who's in college and on the way, and then he goes with his friend from college on this journey, and it's just so random, this book, and the things that happen and the breaks that he gets. It's like not believable. Not that sci-fi is supposed to be believable, but there has to be a little bit of believability in it to make it good, or a little bit of symbolism to make it good. That's another thing. I don't think there was a lot of symbolism in here. There was a little bit of that whole good versus evil, and there's a bad guy, and you're fighting against the bad guy. There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of action scenes, but even the action scenes, Stephen King has a tendency to have long, drawn-out prose and just talk about the same thing for hours. Not very good in general, but in this book it was particularly bad because it broke up the action scenes and made it less action and more sort of a sleepy time. Not very exciting. But yeah, I finished reading The Talisman and I am done with it. I'm done with it. The kid got the talisman. He saved his mom. He saved the queen of the territories as well, who happens to be his mom. There's this whole thing with duality and twinners and all this stuff in this book, which of course, like if it was written in the way A Wrinkle in Time was written, Wrinkle in Time is sci-fi, sort of religious themes, lots of symbolism, and it's kind of random, but it makes sense and there's a purpose, then that would have been very good. But it wasn't like that sort of writing. I hope I'm making sense about this book, and you guys are probably like, why are you talking about a book? I had a series here on YouTube called Becoming Well Read, where I sat down and talk about books, and I made edited videos, but I figured I could do this in a live stream. And so I figured I'd just talk about it and add this video to that series. I am starting a new book. The new book is called My Age of Anxiety by Scott Stossel, and I'm looking at my coffee table because it's there. And so I started a new book today. Hopefully this one's a lot better because it's nonfiction, first of all, and I deal with a lot of anxiety, even though that probably doesn't come out in my videos. I deal with a lot of anxiety, and actually the last time I had a job, I had to let it go. Me and the company parted ways partly because I was very anxious and I wasn't doing a good job because of my anxiety. So I'm trying to delve into that a bit more. I've been doing things like working out on an elliptical to try to find ways to manage and deal with that anxiety. So thank you all again for being here, and let's talk a little bit about metal detecting because yeah, I actually had metal detected on Twitch. This is the website. This is the Twitch website, and I am the detecting zone on Twitch. You would have never known. Yeah, Brooklyn. Well, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back. I deal with really bad anxiety, sort of crippling, uh, to the point where I couldn't function, and it was building up. I had gotten a new job. I was at it for about 2 months, and one Friday I had come home with so much anxiety. I was crying and crying on the sofa, and I told my wife, like, I can't go back there. I can't. It's too much. Hey Daniel, how you doing? Daniel Martel. If you guys aren't following Daniel, he's a bilingual YouTuber. He does metal detecting. He does coin collecting. Uh, he collects the bills that are like silver certificates or bills with fun numbers that are collectible, that are valuable. And so Daniel Martel, who just chatted, he's a YouTuber I highly recommend. I deal with anxiety and panic disorders as well. Yeah, Brooklyn, it's something I don't really talk about because I like to try to remain positive. And recently, this past week, I've been doing elliptical every day to try to sort of gain positive energy. And I feel like when the body's in motion and active, you sort of have like this forward momentum going. And I'm trying to train my mind in this whole thing. And I'm live streaming it on Twitch, that same platform I was talking about that I did the live stream of my metal detecting. I live stream my elliptical sessions 1 hour a day on Twitch, except for days where I metal detect. Hopefully, this is making sense. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And so part of it was from I lost my the other job I was working at suddenly last October. I was at that job for over 9 years. That was my life working at the restaurant, and I was the general manager for one of the locations for the restaurant. And after 9 years, the business just went under. This is before the whole coronavirus thing. This was I was let go. I found out that we were closing on Halloween Day of 2019. And after that, I was collecting unemployment while looking for work, but also dealing with anxiety and how am I going to pay the bills, and I have no stability now, and what's my life going to be, and how am I going to eat food, and all that stuff going on. And big shout out to my friends here on YouTube, Carlos, who goes by Dogstar Blazer, and Rob and Meryl, because it might not seem like it, but they're my close friends. I talk to them. That chat that we have every day is seeing them there just helps out so much. Carlos has been beyond nice. Rob has been beyond nice. Rob actually got me a new scoop, a new beach scoop. Carlos got me a electrolysis glass jar with the cabling and everything that goes along with it. And he also got me a shovel because he saw that I was digging with a little hand shovel, and he wanted me to have one with a long handle so I don't bend over. And so yeah, these people that have metal detect with it, they help keep me sane, and big shout out to them. And yeah, I just wanted recently. I've been trying to meditate and sort of get positive energy while doing the elliptical, and growing my Twitch channel because Twitch can be monetized a lot more easily than YouTube. Not to say that I'm not going to be posting on YouTube because I am, but yeah. And I've been having difficulties just because my cell phone reception has been pretty bad live streaming on Twitch in the real world. I could do it through my computer like this, the way I'm live streaming with you guys now, but yeah, in the real world. Anyway, let's get back to that hunt I did. So we're gonna switch it back. There you go. And so yeah, this is my channel. The Detecting Zone is my channel. You see, I play video games there, and I do live streams, and so yeah, there's lots of different things happening. You were in Prospect Park. I get fun with the rain. I found a lot of regular coins, but big holes never covered before. Yeah, so Daniel, I think there's a huge problem in Prospect Park with those holes. I've seen it before, and part of it, I've seen dogs go and dig up Prospect Park. It's the biggest field, uh, it's the biggest unbroken meadow in New York City. Prospect Park has, and they also have rules that you can have your dog off of the chain before 9 o'clock. And so a lot of people walk their dogs. If you're there very early, a lot of people just have their dogs wandering around, and I've seen dogs dig huge holes. And so part of it, I don't think is metal detectors. Part of it is though, I think also they cut that grass too much, and you see it on days when it's really dry. A lot of that grass is dead, and what happens is that the lawnmowers that they use, I believe the lawnmower thing is pulling up the plugs. So people make plugs and they put it back, but then the lawnmower grabs it and pulls it back out. And usually if you see a hole, there should be a plug somewhere close by. And the problem in Prospect Park is that the plugs aren't there. So you can't refill the hose. And that's something that the Parks Department, I think, has to look into. But the ground is also very hard in some parts. But yeah, I wanted to talk about a few things that happened while I was metal detecting. And hopefully, I don't know if you guys could hear this.
What is it?
So at this point, hold on, let me hit the pause button. So what we're going to do, let's expand this a little too, so you guys can see it very well. I had gotten a signal. It was about a quarter signal. I dug a huge hole, and I sort of am thinning out the sand, finding my target. I'm showing you clips of that hunt at Orchard Beach right now, just as a recap. And I'm finding the signal, and something happens at the hole I had dug. So just check this out, guys.
What is that? All that for a dime?
Yeah, I just got.
Are you kidding me?
You can see the
Are you kidding me?
Is going back and forth. The screen
all that for a dime
is flipping, and so these are problems that I was having
right,
on Twitch. The aspect ratio flipping and the pixelation, and that's due to my phone not having really good reception. But look at what happened.
I gotta put the sand back in the hole. I really have to fill up that hole. Kids.
Whoa,
I'm gonna put the sand back.
You guys are not seeing this in color? So unprofessional. I know, guys. I know. Give me a second. I'll fix it right now. This is supposed to be in color. I don't know why it isn't. That's one of the weirdest things. It's one of the weirdest things. Like, why isn't this in color? I literally have no filters on this. Yeah, sometimes kids ask a bit too many questions, but check this out. These two girls, they had their feet and everything in the hole.
You guys want to kick?
All right. Hopefully you guys can see.
All right, I gotta put the sand back in the hole.
I'm telling them I need to put.
I really have to fill up that hole.
They're playing in there, and I'm trying to be patient and everything.
I'm gonna put the sand back.
And I'm going.
You guys want to kick the sand?
If you sand in them, I'm trying to be very careful.
Let's go, because you don't listen. Get up there.
And the mother comes and grabs them and takes them
I guess
away.
the mom is getting them now. That's pretty funny. If you guys want to clip that, if you guys are here on YouTube, on Twitch.
So that was a clip on my channel from that live stream was 3 hours long, but that was a small clip on that channel. You know what? I'm going to try to bring it back. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm black and white, by the way, on purpose. I prefer to be in black and white when I do live streams and when I am on YouTube. Just no reason. It sort of goes with the whole thing of my channel. Let's just create a new window capture instead of using an existing one. I think that was my big issue, using a window capture that was already... Oh, yes, look, colors! The colors, Duke. The colors. Yeah. So again, I don't know if you guys want to rewatch that because I do want to talk
What
about
is it?
this. Let's watch this again in color. Did it just magically change to black and white again?
What is that?
I could have sworn it came.
All that for a dime? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All that for a dime. Alright, I gotta put the sand back in the hole.
Dude.
I really have to fill up that hole.
So I'm telling them I have
Kids,
to fill up the hole.
I'm gonna put the sand back.
I'm telling them I have
You guys want to kick the sand in if you want?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's so weird.
Let's go, because you don't listen. Get up there.
Okay,
It's
I guess the mom is getting them now.
And then the mom came
That's
to get
pretty
them.
funny. If you guys want to clip that, if you guys are here on YouTube, on Twitch.
So, what does that mean? Clip on Twitch. People do live stream content. It isn't like YouTube. Sorry, it isn't like YouTube where you can upload a video. There's none of that on Twitch. Everything on Twitch is live and it's saved. And usually people live stream for a long time. You can live stream for a short time. Usually it's a longer time. So to make it sort of digestible, if something interesting happens, you can ask your audience to clip it. And so that's what this is. Someone clipped that section of the video, and yeah, what do you guys think? It's so uncomfortable when kids are all up in your holes and you can't really be disrespectful to them, because if a parent sees, God forbid, that the parents are Karens and they're just going to come up on you and start yelling. You know, if you say anything bad to their children, especially as a metal detectorist, people have a tendency to come up to us and say things to us, which they probably wouldn't say in other circumstances, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, it's just one of these things that it sort of irked me that the kids were there, we're all up in the hole I had dug, we're playing there, and I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, hey kids, I'm trying to fill up the hole, like, you guys are really close, and I'm going really slow with the sand, being careful not to kick it at them. Should have been more like, hey kids, move out the way, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know really how to handle that situation. And that wasn't the first time it happened. So I have another clip here from the same time. This was at Orchard Beach just last week. So check this out. I'm digging up the signal, right?
I think this is a penny. You're kind of close. Yeah, I'm afraid to dig it because you're too close.
Look at her feet, how close it is to my hole.
If you're close, I can't dig, so I'm gonna walk down. Wow, those kids get really close. It's like they have no boundaries.
Yeah, so like I said in the last time, it's kind of awkward when it's kids. I said, you're getting too close. You're really close. If you're close, I can't dig. Her feet was at the edge of the hole I was digging. Like, if I had tried to dig it, I would have hit her with my shovel. I almost hit her with the coil of my detector, just trying to get that signal. So I abandoned that signal. It was coming up as a penny. I don't care about leaving pennies on the beach, but it's just the principle of, we are at a point where people in general are social distancing, and that's great, and kids don't know any better, but the parents aren't really, like, making sure their kids are doing the right thing. And I don't know, how do you guys get this when you do metal detecting? And Prospect Park is one thing, and we've had issues at Prospect Park with kids coming up to you all the time, and I am trying to be nice, Brooklyn, but it's just really uncomfortable. Like, I don't like abandoning signals because kids are too close, so close that I can't dig. It's one thing if a kid is being, a respectful distance away, asking questions. I don't mind answering questions. I love talking about metal detecting. Jesus, like, if you say, hey, what are you doing? What have you found? What is it? Like, I would love to answer all your questions. I'd love to tell you how often I go out and what machine I use and how long I've been doing this and my best finds and all the common questions that people have. I have no problem. And kids' curiosities are awesome because you get them into the hobby and maybe it's something that they're interested in and you inspire them. That would be awesome. But there's a way to be inquisitive without being sort of invading someone's personal space. And again, back to the anxiety. Yeah, I was getting really nervous that day. I was getting just so nervous because these kids. Uh, this happened twice. So the first time with the feet in the hole, and then the second time at that instant when she was literally standing at the edge of the hole I was digging. I don't like when someone asks, "Are you looking for gold?" Yeah, I mean, to be honest, in the parks, I often don't dig gold signals because 99 times out of 100, it's aluminum. But in the beaches, I do dig up gold signals. And sometimes when people say, "What are you looking for?" I'm very honest. Like, most of what I dig is trash, bottle caps, pull tabs, that sort of stuff. So I say coins because the next thing under trash that I find very often that is good is coins. So that's what I'm looking for. And sometimes I get jewelry and that's good. And sometimes I don't get jewelry and that's okay too. But yeah, so that day I was having a problem with kids. Kids were the big issue. And so let me close this tab as well. Let's see what this is. Oh, this was cool. I had found 2/4 sort of back to back
Quarter
live
signal.
video. So yeah, if you guys want to watch,
Let's clean this up. It was right there on the
quarters.
surface.
I did find a little bit of jewelry, but none of it was real. They also got clipped, my jewelry finds, and so
Just popped out this quarter. That was a good signal. Another one? Two quarters in a row? Are you kidding me?
So I had just found a quarter. You guys saw that. And
Are you kidding me? I might have to go over that area a bit more.
The very next
It seems to
signal.
be producing. Look at that. Another quarter.
Another quarter.
That's $1. Nice.
I meant $1.
So we found an area
since I
that
had
seems to be
started.
producing.
So yeah, so that's an example of the live stream, and the quality wasn't that good. But again, on Twitch, the name is The Detecting Zone without any spaces, because Twitch name doesn't allow spaces. The Detecting Zone on Twitch.tv. And I will be metal detecting Orchard Beach again very soon in a live stream on Twitch. Unfortunately, I can't do it on YouTube. I'd love to do it on both, but at this point, I don't have that capability on YouTube. So, yes, kid walked right up to me this evening on Brighton and Beach. The kid wouldn't stop getting close. Then his dad asked him to back up and waited to see the find. See, I don't mind if someone's, a bit farther away and watching and just inquisitive and wondering what I'm doing. See, that's not a problem for me. That's not a problem for me. But like you said, if it's too close, first of all, it's difficult to dig. You can't swing if someone's too close. You can't dig if someone's too close. It's important that you have space to sort of work in a way. And I get nervous because it's one thing if it's an adult, because if it's an adult, you can say, hey, back up, and they understand. But sometimes when it's a kid, they don't understand. You say, you're standing too close, they don't understand. I'm trying to dig a hole here, they don't get those cues. And sort of, it's not sort of my job or anybody else's job to police someone's kids that's not their kids. If they're not my kids, I sort of feel not bad, but like I feel like if I say something to those kids, the parents would retaliate against me. That's my biggest worry. Daniel says, one day I said, I'm looking for pieces of meteorites and people believed it. You know what? I get pretty often, and I've seen this in one of Indiana Tone's videos. They ask, are you looking for radiation? Radiation. Like if I'm holding a Geiger counter. I don't know if they see movies, but Geiger counters, usually the ones that detect radiation, is like a stick that you hold out and a box that you hold, and that box sort of makes ticking noises. That's how older Geiger counters work. And so I don't know how they relate that to a metal detector. It's just weird. Like, why would I be looking for radiation on the beach or in the parks? If there is radiation, I don't think they'd allow people to go and swim here. I don't think they'd allow people to picnic here if there was radiation. But people sometimes ask, are you looking for radiation? And on one of Indiana Tone's video, Indiana Tone's awesome detectorist from here in New York City, out from Staten Island. I will write the name of his YouTube channel if you guys aren't following him. Indiana Tones, boom. His name is Lou. Yeah, on his way out from, I think it was Prospect Park one day, someone asked, hey, is that a Geiger counter? And I was just laughing because it's so funny, the idea that, like, people just don't know what we do. They don't know. All right, so this is the 2 quarters found metal detecting. We saw that. So we saw this clip, and this clip. My clips are all, like, sort of randomized. Corona at the beach. Yes, I found a Corona bottle cap. I got happy over dime, getting a nickel. Getting another quarter, metal detecting live. Oh, so this kid was metal detecting as well for the first time out on the beach, and he found an aluminum ring. He was using a Garrett Ace 350, I believe, or 250. I'm not sure. So this clip that's currently loading is he shows me the aluminum ring, and I don't know what it is in the beginning. But basically, this entire hunt was one big live stream. So someone decided to clip that aluminum ring.
That's my normal. Ooh, do you know how to tell if it's real or not?
No.
You mind if I examine it?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm gonna see what it comes up. Okay.
All right.
So I'm just gonna put it down.
I basically threw it on the floor.
12. That's pretty good. 12 is good. It could be gold.
12 is around
Could
the
be.
gold ring. So
It could be gold.
That
It could also
gold.
be stainless steel.
It could also
little
be
diamond on
stainless
the end.
steel, because stainless steel comes up low.
Yeah, no, this isn't gold. So gold is doesn't react, and so this is reacting with something. There's like a crustiness on it, so that's not gold. I would say this is aluminum. It's an aluminum ring, yeah. So this won't be real. If they only put real diamonds on silver or gold or platinum. So yeah. I also found a ring. Let me see if I can find it though. It's a toe ring though.
Like a heart-shaped ring.
So I basically showed him the toe ring I found, which was also not real. I didn't find any real jewelry during that hunt, but it's cool the way Twitch allows us to create clips, metal detecting. So this is me actually finding the toe ring and being, it's loading the clip right now, being very excited about possibly finding a drop the mic signal. I told the chat I need a drop the mic signal, the way Meryl sometimes says it, and then find something awesome sort of immediately after. So I told the chat I need a drop the mic signal, and then right after that I found this toe ring that's currently loading.
Probably aluminum foil. But it hit 7, so you never know. It could be something good.
So
Oh my god. Oh my
I
god, do you see that? It's shiny. Oh my god. Oh my god, do you see that? Oh my god, lazy guy. Lazy guy, are you here? Are you here, lazy guy? Jesus Christ.
Okay, wait, hold on.
I think I just...
So let me explain what's going on. Lazy guy is someone who was watching the entire stream from the beginning. And so I'm trying to get him to clip this. I'm trying to get him to make a clip of this find because I'm seeing the edge. It looks like a ring. I'm excited. And so that's why I'm like, lazy guy, did you see that? Like, Jesus.
just found a toe ring. Yeah, it's a toe ring.
Wow,
Oh, it's nice and shiny, but it looks fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
It's shiny, but it looks fake. It's a toe ring. Oh god, if you hear lazy guy, clip this, please. It's a beautiful toe ring, but it's fake. Look, it's miscolored right here. You see that? Hopefully my fingers aren't in the way. It's miscolored right here, but look, it has along here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you get. I have a good connection. Yeah, it has fake jewels on it. Oh my god, that's so cool.
Sorry, I'm gonna go back.
I just said hopefully you get. I have a good connection. I don't, but yeah, it has fake jewels on it. Oh my god, that's so cool. I just said I wanted to drop the mic signal and I go and find a toe ring.
Yeah, I mean, do toe rings
too bad it
count
wasn't
for
real.
Taco Bell?
If it was gold,
I think Meryl says they count for Taco Bell. And so I've had like a bit of a issue. I think these types of rings should count for Taco Bell, but toe rings should be something else because there are toe rings, there are ear rings, there are belly button rings, sort of anywhere where you could get a piercing, you could, or like any digit, you could put a ring on it or in it. If it's a piercing, you put it in, and if it's a ring, you put it on. And so, like, where is the line drawn where, like, is it just round, completely round rings that get Taco Bell? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be Taco Bell. I assume that would be Taco Bell. Amigo, if you want to come to quiz, just let me know. I sent you my cell phone by email. Yeah, no worries. I currently don't drive, and so usually when I go metal detecting, it's with Robert or Carlos who are driving, and so yeah, I am sort of confined a little bit to where I can get to quickly because I used to take the train all the way to Coney Island, which is an hour and 45 minutes from where I am on public transportation. But that ride is a bit too long, and with the whole coronavirus thing, I haven't even been on the subway in a while. And so that's just, things going through my mind right now. But they are going to open up the beaches this Wednesday, July 1st, the 1st of July. They are opening up the beaches, and so I want to be at the beach when they open it up. I want to see what I get. Let's see. Another quarter. I picked up a hair clip. Oh, this is the earring I found. So that same day I had found an earring. And again, my reception was really bad, so the video quality isn't as good as it could be. The subway is so clean now. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying that, and I've seen reports about that. A ring is a ring. Hog rings count. Okay, so, yeah. Like, is a nose ring a ring? Like, because a nose ring is more like a piercing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Earrings are definitely not rings. I don't think Merrill considers them rings. So, this is an earring that I found. Unfortunately, it wasn't real. Unfortunately, this ring I found wasn't real. Just gotta always double check that you guys can see it too.
Is it this? I see something metallic here. What is this? Guys, clip this! Clip this! It's a ring! It's an earring! Look at that! Look how beautiful that is! Oh, the stone fell out! Piece of shit! It's not a real earring. It's a fake earring. Unfortunately, that stone! That's so cool! Guys, if you have the ability to clip on Twitch, clip this find. This is my first jewelry find today. Unfortunately, it's not real. It broke. I wish it was real.
So yeah, you saw, I found the earring. I was amazed at the size of the rock, and as I'm looking at it, the rock falls out. The earring was falling apart. It was like a stud earring falling apart, and so obviously it isn't real. Currently, all the finds from this Orchard Beach hunt were still in my bag when I went to do the next hunt I did, where I did find something very good. And that next hunt that I did was at a park, and it was with Carlos, and it was with our good friend Don, who invited us out that day to a park that he wanted to scope out. And that park, it looked like it had been heavily detected because there weren't many coins to be found. It was pretty difficult to find quarter and dime signals, so someone had been hunting it before. Definitely we got that impression. And basically that will be a video on YouTube. I am going to make that into a video. I didn't live stream that. I recorded it like a normal YouTube video that I do. And so all the Orchard Beach finds are going to be included with that hunt at the wrap-up. And so, yeah, that's that. And in Orchard Beach, I also found coins. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I feel weird. Like, if I include the coin finds, for example, I found a quarter here. Someone clipped it. Okay, cool. If I include the coin finds, like, it makes the video longer, and it sort of builds anticipation and stuff for good finds. But I don't want an entire video just finding coins. And so I'm always battling, like, should I record this quarter? Should I record this dime?
29. That usually indicates a quarter.
Merrill today posted a video.
9.
Merrill today posted a video, I should say, where he's just digging up a lot of trash with his new detector, trying to figure it out. And, the video was interesting, but then you sort of want him to find something good. And I think, man, I don't record any of the trash I find, and so, like, I just don't think of recording that stuff. And recently, when I dig up a dime, I'm like, oh, this isn't even worth recording. But I do it just for the video, to have something, because I don't want to go out and dig coins all day and then come home and not have anything to edit. And so, yeah, that's part of it too. And so, yeah, this is just me finding a coin on the beach.
29. That usually indicates a quarter.
And I'm sorry about the video quality here. You can see it's sort of getting pixelated.
Let's take a bit.
And warped.
I got it in my scoop. Let's clean out the scoop.
That's my phone connection just not being that good.
Woo! Clip that! If you are here, clip that. I just got a quarter.
I think that was the first quarter.
Nice. Thanks for the host, Zen. I really appreciate that. Just got a quarter. I'm 25 cents richer.
So what was that at the end? The host thing. So on Twitch, everybody on Twitch has a channel. Every user on Twitch, the same way every user on YouTube has a channel, whether you put content on your channel or not. Some people, when you're not live streaming, they don't have anything going on in their channel. I mean, you could see the older live streams, but that's not very interesting. So what some people do is they decide to host someone who's actually live streaming. So Zen had taken it upon himself to host my channel. So if anyone's looking him up, they would see me metal detecting, and they'd know he's hanging out in my chat. He's watching me right now. And so that's how Twitch is different than YouTube. If someone goes to your YouTube page and you're currently watching a YouTube video, they don't know where you are, or what you're watching, unless you like post something on social media, like, hey, check out this video, it's really cool. I don't record trash either. Maybe during the wrap up sometimes. Yeah, that's how I feel. What video editing software do you use, and is it free software? Yes, I use free software. It's iMovie on the MacBook Pro. It's a program that comes with the MacBook Pro. If you are using a Windows computer, Windows Movie Maker, I believe, is still free. You can download it, and it is the most recent version of Movie Maker is a pretty good video editing software. There's also freeware programs that you can use to edit. And before actually using iMovie, I was recording on my phone and using I think it's called Power Director, and I was using the free version of Power Director on my Android phone. And that does leave a watermark on the bottom of your video, the bottom right hand side of your video, but it's free and it's very easy to use, and you could use it on a cell phone. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully that answers your question about the software. Just got a chest harness to hold my phone so I can hunt while you record. Yes. In these videos that you're seeing right now, the ones that I was showing you, I actually have a chest harness, and I had changed the attachment from the GoPro to my cell phone. And you have an iMac. Oh yeah, so get Movie Maker. Get iMovie. It should be on the Mac already. It's iMovie. So I have my phone was sort of perpendicular with the floor, like flat. And so if you hold your phone like that, it doesn't know if you're looking at it like this, or from the other side, or from this side. It doesn't know because it's perpendicular with the phone. It needs an angle. And so that's why in these live streams, while I'm moving around and stuff, the phone is just flipping the perspective, because it doesn't know what's going on. And so there was a bit of that going on as well during the hunt. And so, yeah, this is a current game I'm playing called Galgun. Those clips, just funny things that happen in the game. Let's just do more of this metal detecting stuff. Marty got it on Amazon for $20. Yes, the chest mounts for the GoPro cameras are pretty inexpensive, and actually most of the GoPro attachments, you can get them in bulk now on Amazon. There's companies that make them very cheap, and yeah, you can get GoPro attachments pretty cheaply. And actually, if you buy like a third-party camera, like an action cam, I think they call it, those attachments work on the official GoPros as well, assuming that they're not like the square GoPros and they're the rectangular ones.
Somewhere there.
Hey Rob, how you doing? Rob, you missed the kids. I'll go back to the kids for you, man.
Somewhere there.
I'll go back to the kids. So, again, this was the
Somewhere
live stream
there. Oh, is it this? What is this? Oh, it's the end of a freaking glasses thing.
So someone clipped that.
The Techaholics, how you doing?
and Marilyn.
So
and
yeah,
Dennis
if you're not following the Techaholics NYC on YouTube, definitely do that. They've been putting out content. They haven't put out anything, I think, this year, but when they get back to the
So yeah, that was a clip that someone had made on my channel from my live stream hunt. And so, Rob, check this out. You ever had this happen to you? We're gonna find it. This was the one. It's this one, and I'm gonna preload the other one as well, just because it's annoying. And Rob is always at that beach. Rob is always at Coney Island. So it will be good to get his perspective on it and see what's going on. And where is it? I thought it was there. Oh, this one, right? Duh. So Rob, yeah, what this is this is Twitch. This is where the website that I had done the live stream of me metal detecting Orchard Beach on. Hey, Carlos, you're here as well. What's up? So what I was saying was that this is Twitch. This is the website I did the live stream for metal detecting on. Twitch is a website usually geared towards people doing video games, but sometimes just people chatting with the camera or with their audience the way I'm chatting with you right now. And it's only geared towards live content. Sometimes you even have DJs playing sets on Twitch, which is pretty cool. And so the way things work is very different because I can't upload an edited video onto Twitch. It has to be sort of live, you know, and the way that you get a lot of views is to make really good content, and people host you on Twitch. Their channels, they'll put you on their channel with a host, and hopefully you get hosted by really awesome people. There's also something known as a raid, where at the end of my stream, if I wanted to dump everybody that's viewing my channel to someone else, I can do that with a raid, and then those people who are watching could decide if they like that content, they'll keep watching. If not, they can move on to something else. And so that's also something that's very different from YouTube. Twitch is just geared towards growing the community. But yeah, during my live stream, I had many people clip my 3-hour live stream into small videos. One of the clips was this one. So pay close attention to what happens here. It's interesting.
I think this is a penny. You're kind of close. Yeah, I'm afraid to dig it because you're too close. If you're close, I can't dig. So I'm gonna walk down. Wow, those kids get really close. It's like they have no boundaries.
So yeah, I was digging that hole. It doesn't matter. It was a penny signal. What's up to digging with Marty? Oh yeah, hey. Yeah, so you guys are saying hey to each other. But yeah, that kid sort of had no boundaries. Does that happen to you guys when you're digging on the beach? Where a kid sort of comes up to the edge of your hole to the point where you're trying to, you know, get the signal on your detector, and you cannot swing your detector because your detector is literally going over the foot of someone at the edge of your hole. Like, what is up with that? There's no boundaries, totally too close and not okay. And I expected when I said you're too close for the child to know and back up. I didn't want to say, hey, back up, because that's rude and you don't know how close the child's parents are. They could come running and screaming at me. You know, I don't want people screaming and yelling at me because they told their kid to back up. But my God, I just felt so uncomfortable. And this happened to me on a live stream. And it was enough so that one of my viewers created a clip out of it. So yeah, it happens all the time, but it's really strange. So I abandoned that signal. It was just a penny. I don't care. But I abandoned that signal because, like, and it's gonna get worse when the beach season opens. And so, yeah, it's one of those things. Do you usually just walk away, or do are you like a bit more forceful, like, hey, back up? Yeah, it's really strange. It's a strange situation, especially on live stream. Like when people are watching my actions live, you know, I don't want to come off as an asshole on my own video. You know what I mean? Sometimes they put their hands in the hole. Yeah, well, I have another video for you from that same hunt that's very similar to that, Rob. Yo le digo, niño, muévete. Que viene loco. Oh my God, Daniel, that's hilarious. He's like, kid, move. The crazy guy's coming. That's hilarious. All right, so this is another clip.
What is it?
Very similar. Very similar. So let's just watch. This is another clip from that 3-hour live stream I did on Twitch.
What is that? All that for a dime?
I dug a huge
hole. Are you kidding me?
See it there in the corner.
Are you kidding me? All that for a dime.
So these two girls come now, and look what they do with.
All right, I gotta put the sand back in the hole. I really have to fill up that hole.
Their feet in to the hole.
Kids, I'm gonna put the sand back. You guys want to kick the sand in if you want?
Okay, so I'm trying to carefully kick the sand, like move the sand with my foot back into the hole, but not harsh enough that I might kick sand onto these two kids, which are definitely way too close to the hole. Literally, they were in the hole. They had their feet in there, like, and I have to fill it up. You know, I can't leave huge holes like this. And this is sort of closer to the high tide line. Tide was sort of moving at that time, but it was moving down, so this would not have been refilled for a while, for a good many hours with the tide. So I had to refill it, and the girl's just sticking her foot in the hole. And I'm telling them, hey, I have to refill the hole, and I'm moving slowly with my foot, trying to push the sand back in, and telling them, hey, you know, if you want, like, I'm filling the hole, if you want to do that too, that's okay, I guess. Check out what happens though.
Let's go. Let's go, because you don't listen. Get up there.
Okay, I guess the mom is getting them now. That's pretty funny. If you guys want to clip that, if you guys are here on YouTube, on Twitch.
So yeah, I asked the audience, someone in the audience, to clip that because the mother. So they actually did a really good job because they clipped the fact that I had gotten a dime from that live stream, and they also clipped the mother getting the kids out from there. And this is in. I'm from the Bronx, and Rob and Carlos are as well. We are from the Bronx. And Brooklyn is obviously from Brooklyn. Actually, Brooklyn and Daniel Martel, you guys are probably closer to each other than I am to either of you. Just letting you know. So yeah, the mother comes and grabs the kids away, and it's great that the mother was seeing what her kid was doing, and obviously that they were too close to me and decided to take them away. I wish more parents were more observant of their children. But it's sort of a weird situation. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, get the hell out of my hole. I don't want to kick sand in you. I got to kick the sand back in the hole. But yeah, where are you from? Mark, where are you from? Where are you from, Mark? Let me know. Oh, one thing is cool. Check this out. So there was this guy called Cellsun667. He's another Twitch streamer. A Twitch streamer that I don't know about. Oh my god, he's actually live right now. We're not going to watch his live stream, but what he does on Twitch is that he goes around sort of walking around in real life, talking to people while streaming live. And the only reason I bring this up is because he was in Brooklyn just the other day. There's a advertisement. That's fine. He was in Brooklyn the other day. This guy, Cellsun667 on Twitch. So he's in Brooklyn.
Everyone.
Come on. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get the.
I brush my teeth, eat breakfast, work out.
I'm trying to load this right here, so I can go to videos, and so I can go to clips, because I want to show you something that happened on his channel. Now, remember, I don't know this guy. But look what happens. So he is on Twitch, and he's just live streaming.
Oh man, you gotta see what you found right now.
Oh, it's a quarter. And
Oh,
he
shit, you found
me
a
metal
quarter.
detecting.
What's the date?
It's not that old. 78.
Wow, found a 1978 quarter.
You on Twitch?
Yeah, I am.
Cool.
You know about Twitch?
Yeah, I'm the Detecting Zone on Twitch. I play video games and.
That's your Twitch name?
Yeah.
Guys, you heard him? Say your Twitch name.
The Detecting Zone.
Detecting Zone is his Twitch. Why you don't stream this IRL?
My phone is not really good with the reception.
Oh,
I
I feel-
usually stream video games from home.
Yeah,
But I have a YouTube channel where I do my metal detecting stuff.
that's what's that you have a camera right there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not recording right now because I haven't found anything too good. But
Bro, that's awesome. Yeah, my Twitch is Cellsun667.
Cellsun667. CELSON.
Yep. No, it's CELSUN.
SUN.
667.
All right, let me.
Thanks, bro. That's official. I just started IRL like 12 days.
So this guy just started streaming IRL, which is in real life, 12 days ago, and he got monetized already. There's just 4 requirements to get monetized. Stream more than 7 days, which is very easy to do. Stream have more than 50 followers, which I already have, stream over 40 hours, which seems like a long time, but when you're on Twitch, usually people stream like, 4, 5, 6 hours at a time, and also get 3 concurrent viewers average. And so that's what I'm working on, that last one, getting 3 concurrent viewers. But he's done it just streaming while walking through New York City randomly. And he rolled up on me. He walks up to me while I'm metal detecting. And I found his quarter. And I was sort of able to pimp out both my YouTube channels and my Twitch channel on his audience. And actually today I did a live stream where I was playing video games. And some people that were watching him came to my stream. So that's how sort of that was discovered. I was discovered, and when I got home after metal detecting, I looked him up, and I found his page, and I actually clipped it. I clipped that myself from his channel because it was just something interesting that happened. I was just metal detecting, minding my own business, and this guy comes up to me with a camera live streaming. So that was pretty cool. I wish detecting in Manhattan and Staten Island. I have done Manhattan. I've detected Manhattan. Carlos has detected Manhattan too. We found some cool stuff in that park in Inwood. We found some really cool stuff in Inwood Park in Manhattan. Yeah, it was kind of random. Someone wants come to Queens, just let me know. Daniel, where do you normally metal detect in Queens? If you're comfortable saying, let me know. As for Staten Island, Lou, Indiana Tones, is always detecting Staten Island. He's always down there. I think multiple times a week he goes out at least to the parks and beaches down there to metal detect. Yeah, and I'm excited for this week to start metal detecting the beaches. Wednesday, the beaches open. Who is ready? I have my detector charging right now because I want to get onto the beach a freaking sap.
Find.
Seriously, I really want to get onto the beach and do some
kill.
like real metal detecting out on the beaches. You do Flushing, you do Forest Hills, you do Kew Gardens. Nice, those are cool locations, awesome locations. And you do the Bronx. Where is Lou tonight? He missed 2 lives. He had said that he was a bit busy earlier with like errands and stuff that he was running, that he was doing tonight. I'm not sure if he was going out metal detecting. Someone wanted to metal detect with him. I'm not sure if that was happening. I'm not sure if he was going to go out and do that. So yeah, a lot of video game streams. Quarter. This was funny. I found a hair clip. It was sort of on the surface, but I heard it from the metal detector, so there you go. You and Carlos got to come down so we can go to Sunset Park. Sunset Park. You know what? Let's search that. Let's see how good Sunset Park is. And by the way, if you guys, Sunset Park, New York City, let's do a little bit of search right now. Let's scope out this place electronically. Boom! Sunset Park from New York City Parks. Detecting is fine, but errands are no excuse. Yeah, it's also pretty late. I mean, and he has I think 2 or 3 kids. I think he has 2 girls and a baby or something like that. So let's see, Sunset Park. Okay, so it looks like a pretty small park, about 2 city blocks long. 4 like blocks, like short areas of the blocks wide. Let's go to Astoria. I was at the beach this evening, Carlos. I got caught in the storm. Oh no, that's not good. So what I like to do is when I go to a park, I like to read the history. So we see that there's a pool there that opened to the public in 1936. So you know that the area around the pool was probably at least disturbed or landfilled in around 1936. Still Civil era, so that's pretty good. Let's go to news and see if anything has happened in that park. So it looks like there was renovations, $3 million in renovations to Sunset Playground in 2017. So the area around Sunset Playground looks like is probably landfilled, because when they renovate, they always landfill it. And again, in 2013, there's another renovation to Sunset Park. So
pretty recently, 2017 and 2013, that the park was renovated. Which that doesn't sound too good to me. That sounds like landfill stuff. Um, let's look at the map. Let's see what this park has to offer. You don't know. I mean, it could have good stuff. The only way to know is to go out and see. The map might take a little time to load. Okay, so this is pretty close to where we were before. The park that we hunted this past weekend. Again, it's 2 city blocks long. It's sort of like football field shape. There's not a lot of green areas because this looks like the pool that they were talking about, and so it's really the detectable area. It's just this, and I believe this is probably what was renovated. And this part over here, if it wasn't part of the recent renovations, we know that it was landfilled in as recently as 1936. So we won't find anything from the 1800s or really early 1900s there. Wow, treasure hunter got to watch that lightning with the metal detector and shovel. It's been around since the 1890s, right? Yeah. So they have the information, but it also has had a lot of renovations done to it recently, which it makes me nervous to go because when a park's been renovated, they always bring in that landfill dirt. Let's see. One of New York's hidden treasures, tucked away in Brooklyn neighborhood, bears its name. Is famous for a breathtaking vista. Sunset Park offers at sunset times. I'm like a Q from the James Bond movies. From the park's highest point, you can see the Statue of Liberty. That would be really cool for a video, actually, just in terms of. Uh, Usually, Mark, when a park in New York City has been landfilled in, they bring in dirt with a lot of trash, and that trash comes in the form of sometimes cans, sometimes brass things like door hinges or door handles or locks or very random pieces of scrap metal. And so, generally speaking, it's not too good a place to metal detect. Vibrant Brooklyn neighborhoods, Green Hills of Staten Island, New Jersey. Turning your gaze inward into the park, you see equally diverse terrain, a state-of-the-art swimming pool, green fields, pedestrian walkways, and a sand volleyball court. That I wouldn't mind metal detecting. I know you're not supposed to do ball courts, but it's a sand court, so hopefully it's like a beach type area. Recreation center. Who knows what that means? That's probably a building. I know that there's a recreation center in Poe Park, and it's just a building that features artwork from local artists and a living memorial commemorating September 11th. So September 11th was in 2001. Let's look at the map again, because if we can find out where the memorial is, basically memorials, they have to move a lot of dirt to put them in. So as recently as 2001, that memorial would have been put. You can't commemorate September 11th before it happened, basically. So hopefully I'm making sense what I'm saying. So yeah. So we have now a lot of information about this park. We know the pool was put in 1936. Come on, load, load, load. Thank you. So this pool was put in 1936. This looks like a sandy area. This lightly colored area. So that might be the volleyball area. This looks like some kind of memorial over here. So this was probably done in 2001. And then we know that in 2017 and in 2013 there were renovations done to this park as well. And so yeah, I mean, it might be worth a shot. It might be, especially, I'm looking here at this edge. Like, did they really renovate this very edge of the park? Take a look at Forest Park. Forest Park, sure. Forest Park, New York City. Yeah, if you guys want to give me ideas for things to research, and yeah, I could give you my impressions on if I think it is a good idea to metal detect it or not. Forest Park News. I should also open up another tab with maps.google.com. There you go. Let's do Forest Park first, and then we could do Cunningham. Ah, that was horrible. in Myrtle Avenue, Queens, Forest Park. Is that what it was? Let's just put Forest Park, Queens, New York. See what comes up. I don't want to delete my location history. Interesting looking park. So just in terms of the area, it takes up multiple cities blocks. It's nice and big. I love that. That looks really nice. Not a lot of walkways in here. Get out. Let's switch the view here. I hate when Google does that. Google always does that. We want the satellite view. The satellite view would give us a better idea about the terrain. Forest Park, where's that located? It's in Queens. It's in Queens. And let's see. It doesn't have a lot of pedestrian walkways, so hopefully that's good. Hopefully that means pedestrians don't go there often. I see green areas here, green areas here. I'm not seeing any ball fields. This sort of looks like a little bit like a golf course. We'd have to look at the park's website to determine what facilities they have. There's a carousel that's temporarily closed. Interesting. And then let's back it up a little bit. Forest Park continues up here. Awesome. So it seems like a pretty big park spanning many city blocks. This is mostly forested area, sort of like Van Cortlandt Park. A lot of joggers. That's good. Let's sort of give a size comparison because just to compare the size, this is the size of Prospect Park, and I'm not going to change the map size. This over here is Forest Park, both this and this. Both of these two dark areas is Forest Park. So, like, if you put it together, I would say it's about 80% of the size of Prospect Park. Let's see what facilities this park has and what work was done, because that's extremely important. But the way that it has a lot of trees, that is very good. I like that. I like the way it looks. I like that just by looking at it, it doesn't look to have a lot of pedestrian walkways. There's just one pedestrian walkway through here and a few down here, but a lot of it is green. A lot of it is green. This one has a bit more, but still like large areas of green areas like everywhere. So I really like that about this park. Let's see. They have a history. Beautiful. I like to read the history more than the main. Forest Park is one of the natural treasures, so they're trying not to do a lot with it. It's good. Of New York City, the Wisconsin Glacier molded this land 20,000 years ago. The Delaware Native Americans, and so the Dutch West India Company settled the area in 1635. They established towns, and it was not until 1834 that they were chartered as independent city of Brooklyn. Okay, the Brooklyn Parks Department bought the first parcel of this space in 1895. So this park has been around for over 100 years. Okay, that's very good. It's similar to Sunset Park in terms of that time. Hey, Michael, how you doing? We're sort of looking up parks and trying to dig the dirt virtually of where might be a good place to metal detect. Right now, we're looking up a park called Forest Park in Queens, New York. Originally known as Brooklyn Forest Park, was acquired by the city of New York in 1898. The Brooklyn Parks Department managed parkland that is now Forest Park as well as Queens Park until the independent Queens Park Department was established in 1911. Surveyed the park, designed the Forest Park Drive as Olmsted, noted in 1895. It contains the largest oak forest and 110-acre golf course. So there is a golf course in this park. That's what I had postulated when I saw this. I said this looks like golf courses. So golf courses, of course, you guys know we can't detect there. So unfortunately, like, this entire portion of the park is undetectable. And that's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. It also looks like, look at that beautiful forest. Just think, this beautiful forest was everywhere, and they decided to clear it to make a golf course. What a waste of space. Not in terms of just metal detecting, but like, just a waste of space in general. Like, you really can't do anything. You can't picnic on a golf course. You can't barbecue on a golf course. You could only play golf.
What a waste of space. I am sorry, but that is not cool. Um, so yeah, the amount of detectable area is now very, very small, sort of spanning the edge of the golf course and heading sort of this way. Um, let's see if we can find out more information about this park. Contains several species of trees. We see that from the sky view, all the trees that are there. Several of the trees are over 150 years old. Several of the trees are over 150 years old. Lovely. They create sorry, I can't speak today. A canopy with an underlayer of dogwood, Virginia creeper, sassafras, and cork tree. Okay, cool. During the park's centennial celebration in 1995, 100 trees were planted as part of Operation Pine Grove, funded by American Forests. That's not so good. When they bring in trees to plant, they usually landfill in sort of the bottom of the trees, and they bring in mulch from other places, and that just adds a few inches. So I would want to look for where some of these older trees are, and not many of these newer trees that were planted in 1995. So in 1995, 100 trees were planted in this park. And the park uses the greenhouse built in 1910 to grow trees and plant in many other city parks. So there's a greenhouse here. That's interesting. In addition to the kettle pond in the forest, provide a haven for bird watching. Let's see if we can find any of these structures, because I see that they have sort of a small carousel amusement park thing. George Banshaw over here. They have tennis courts down here. The dog run is currently closed. The playground over here. This might be a good area to metal detect, close to where these trees are. There's a model airplane field, huh? So it's a field where people are allowed to fly model airplanes or something, I think. That's very interesting. I didn't know New York City had a place specifically designed for that. Let's see what's up here. What kind of structure is this? Looks like a bunch of cars close to a building. That's probably a Parks Department building. I'm not seeing a greenhouse anywhere here. The greenhouse sort of has a glass roof. Or it should have a glass roof if it's a true greenhouse. So yeah. Oh, here it is. I found it. Look at that beautiful structure. Oh no, that is the carousel. The thing is just off the center. That's the carousel there. Yeah, I'm not seeing the greenhouse. They have that beautiful pond though. That pond looks cool. That pond looks like something might be there. That pond looks really cool. Even better with Google Earth, has the time dial. You can go back to old aerials. Yeah, so we know that this park has been around since the 1800s. 1892, where is it? No, it was 1834 that it was acquired by Brooklyn. I'm looking for green areas over here, like green areas that can be metal detected. And I'm not seeing that. Like, they have walkways, sort of paths in the forest, but I'm not seeing a lot of green areas. This looks like an actual road where cars drive. But I'm not seeing like any. When I say green areas, I don't mean like green like trees. I mean like grassy areas. I do see a ball field over here. And so it might be interesting. Oh, the ball field is facing this way. Is it? Or this way? Oh, that's a weird ball field. Holy heck, that's a weird ball field. Yeah. This parking lot, oh my god, a place, this might be a good area to metal detect up here. This might be a good area to metal detect up here. The statue of Job, you mean the guy from the Bible? Is that what that is? That's weird. So let's see. We can also go to the, let's see what monuments, because there are monuments here. So Job, standing figure, life-size, integral plinth. So they have this little, so it's a 5-foot bronze statue of Job mounted on two, interesting. Okay, cool. And they have, it was dedicated in 1997. No! That's horrible. So we know that this area was sort of dug up and messed around in 1997. So if you're coming to this park, you want to find old stuff. You might want to avoid the area around that statue. Let's see if we find any older monuments, things that were put in a long time ago. A gray tree marker. Interesting. Let's see. This tree is dedicated to the memory who died in world 1914 to 1918. Yeah. I actually have Google Earth on my computer, but my streaming software doesn't really allow me to use a lot of programs at the same time. It slows down my computer. Hey, Metal Detecting North Carolina, how you doing? We are currently searching for New York City parks that might be interesting or cool to metal detect. Let's actually look at this map. We're now looking at the map on the park's website, and sometimes it has better information than other park than Google Maps. So it's basically this darker green area, this overly dark green area over here. Hopefully it comes out on the stream. Is golf courses. All this is golf course, which is horrible. There's a carousel here. There's a pond here. And sort of the lighter green areas, where's this? Myrtle Avenue? It seems like there's a light green avenue down here, area down here along Myrtle that might be good to metal detect. Let's back this up. Back it up, back it up. This area right here. Myrtle Avenue cuts across. Where is that, It's where Myrtle Avenue crosses here. Okay, so it says that there's a lighter green area. I guess it's this, where there might be fields. And I see it now. So there are fields here, but they're sports fields. And there's a statue here. This is the My Buddy statue. When was that My Buddy statue put in? If we find out when that My Buddy statue was put in, that's most likely the last time that they dug up that earth. Tree marker, and it doesn't say here, which is unfortunate. Alright, good night, Brooklyn. Yes, and so we have a permit. All the people that come out to New York City, me, Meryl, Rob, Carlos, we all have permits to metal detect. Don, yeah, everybody that comes out to metal detect has permits. I wanted to load the colors, yeah. And there's a few lighter green areas here. There's areas over here. Let's see how good that might be for metal detecting. This park looks really old. There's this looks like a field over here, like a less area slightly less populated with trees that might be good as well. I don't do a lot of hunting in forests, to be completely honest. Right here, but that's a soccer field. So is this like considered part of the soccer field? Sometimes the parks department gets really funny with stuff like that. This is far enough from the field. I think this might be an okay place. But yeah, there's like a lot of fields around here. And around the carousel, this might be a good spot. I wonder when this carousel was built. Let's see if there's information about that as well. Let's see, under the highlights it should have information about the carousel. There's 2 pages of stuff, things going on in this park. The carousel. Let's see when the carousel was put in. Oh wow, they carved the animals in 1903 and it opened in 1903 in Massachusetts. So it wasn't in that park until when? Down December. So in 1972, while searching for a new carousel, concession restaurateur associates found 1903 carousel. So a full restoration operated until 1985. It fell into disrepair. 1988 began operating again. Okay, so in the 80s it was basically running that carousel. So they probably like dug up the area around here to put in the carousel at that time. They probably did some work here as well. Uh, but this might be older. This could be older. I think for this park, Forest Park, this area right here looks really good to me. Even though this area immediately outside the carousel might be, maybe not as good. This area over here looks good. These two little green areas. Um, Maybe this area, that's the Federal Department of New York Telegraph Station. I would stay away from there. But this area just along Park Lane, this little grassy area, looks pretty good. And this area here and here and here looks good to metal detect, sort of in a not forested area in the grassy patch. So yeah, this park actually does look really good. Hey, how you doing tonight? New Level Auto. Permits in New York City are easy to obtain. They are free. They are completely free. Has anyone detected Central Park? You can't detect Central Park. It's not on the permit. It's not allowed, unfortunately. But yeah, Forest Park looks really good. Carlos, if you're still in the chat, what do you think? Would you want to do Forest Park? Let me know, or just send me a message on my phone. We could talk about it. That place would be a silver mine. Yeah. Central Park also undergoes a lot of renovations. There's a lot of like art things that happen there. A lot of people go. It would be a silver mine, but you'd have to work it. You'd have to get through layers and layers of trash. Also, the Parks Department are always mulching so many of the trees in Central Park. It probably has layers and layers of that rich, decomposed soil that comes from the mulch. And so yeah, it's basically the holy grail. It does have good stuff, but I feel like if they did open up Central Park to metal detectorists, what would happen is that a lot of people would find a lot of trash, and then once a lot of that trash is cleared, then you would start getting better stuff. I mean, the Equinox goes very deep, but I could imagine there's so many people frequent Central Park that it might be difficult to get some of that older stuff right away the first time you go. It would have to be something that you clean out slowly. You drove to New York City Saturday and you're going back to North Carolina. Oh, and you went back to North Carolina last night, so you weren't really there here for a long time, just for one day. Wow, that's rough. And that's quite a drive as well, so you're probably tired from all that driving. Driving on the road, I mean, like, there's the whole factor of being on the road and trying to stay awake. You're listening to music, maybe you're with someone else in the car and they're keeping you entertained. But I know from being on long drives with my mom, once we went from Vermont to here in New York, and I think just from being on long drives with her, whenever we get to our destination, she is so tired. Avenue Z Park in Brooklyn. Let me check that out. Is that the actual name of it? Avenue Z Park. Let's just go with that. Let's see what happens. I can't even find Avenue Z. Okay, that's Avenue Z. Yeah, I don't really know what the name of this park is that you referred to. This is Avenue Z, so let's scroll out and keep our eyes on it. Are you talking about this? This area? This is Avenue Z. It keeps on extending. It seems like there's another park at the end of it. What is this called? No, this is a ball field. That's definitely a ball field. This looks like a football field because you have the lines. So it can't detect that. Yeah, I'm trying to see what park you're talking about, Keith. Just ran up to grab a bunch of equipment and my eldest daughter. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing the park you're talking about. I'm looking along Avenue Z. I do see this green area, though. It spans, like, multiple, blocks. Oh, no, this is a walking area. They do have apartment buildings, so I'm not sure. This probably looks like the projects or something. West Playground area. So much has been buried but old. West Playground. Is this West Street? West Playground. Yeah, there you go. So this is it. We're just gonna do a quick search for New York City metal detecting. Just to pull up the permit and make sure that the park is on the permit. Probably is, to be honest. This does not look like the type of field that would be a ball field, so that's very good. And does West Playground extend down here? Like, are these green areas interspersed amongst the buildings part of that? You know, that's another interesting question that we could look into. All right, so let's see if it's on the permit. Yeah, my computer is a bit slow, but that's because I'm streaming. When I'm not streaming, I actually get decent speeds, but streaming takes a lot out of it. So if you guys have never seen the New York City permit process, you basically just search New York City metal detecting permit. This is the website. You click on the PDF. It will download, hopefully, eventually. Let's save that. And then once it downloads, I'm going to open it and just see if it's on there. They were, but the New York City Housing Authority took 3/4 of the park. So that makes sense for the maps. Yeah, I said this looks like projects, and that's basically what it is. New York City Housing Authority projects, it looks like. So this block is probably not detectable, unfortunately. And if they built those buildings recently, we probably wouldn't want a detector anyway, to be completely honest. So let's look. This is in Brooklyn, right? Is this Brooklyn or Queens? Either way, it doesn't look like it's on there. This West Playground doesn't look like it's on there. Does this have any other name? No, it's just West Playground. So yeah, it's in alphabetical order. So it would be here if it was on the permit. Snug Harbor, Staten Island. Snug Harbor. Let me check that out. It looks like this has been heavily maintained. Those ball fields look pristine. They're probably not that old. Some of these trees look like they could be old. This one, the bigger ones. I would say the oldest part of the park looks like down here. When you have a lot of trees like this, they generally tend to be undisturbed. When the trees are more sparsely populated like this, those areas could be very landfilled in. So if I were to detect this park, and I don't think it's allowed on the Parks Department permit, but if I were, I would probably go along here, along where the trees are. Yeah, along this field over here, and I would stay away, obviously, from these ball fields. I would stay away from this lighter green stuff over here. It looks like there's a fountain. It looks like there's been buildings built on this area. Generally, we want to stay away from anywhere that buildings would have been built. Construction material would have needed to be brought in, probably along this road right here. They would have brought it in and started building. So I'd stay away from this. I'd probably want to detect closer to these huge trees. Check out the history. Sure. Good night, Daniel. 1800s, pretty much the entire area have to skirt the open areas. Yeah, the problem with areas like this is that
they have history, but so much has been built up on top of it. I went to a park, Owlshead Park, this weekend, and it has a lot of history, but we didn't find Jack. Uh, Actually, Carlos found one silver quarter, but there were three of us out there detecting, and we really didn't find anything at that park. And the reason is, first of all, it looked like it was hunted before. There was no quarters. There were really no good signals. And even though there were a lot of old trees, you could tell it was land filled in, and a lot of the structures might have been more recent. So, did I misspell Staten? I said Stated Island. Yeah. Is there history? Oh, here. Wikipedia usually has the history. Is the Lighthouse Park on Roosevelt Island on the list? That's a good question. The whole place is all historical buildings still. Not much has changed in 150 years. Any park can surprise you, maybe with a gold ring or maybe old coins. That is true. That is true. That is true. You never know until you go. I mean, even modern parks, you could find jewelry and stuff. So, also known as Snug Harbor. Let's see. Murders and suicides. What? January 1863, the chaplain of Snug Harbor was shot by a sailor resident named Herman Ingalls with a double-barrel pistol outside the Snug Harbor chapel. Herman Ingalls then shot himself and died. So he murdered someone and then committed his suicide. Local legend tells of a second murder that occurred in Snug Harbor. According to the persistent legend, a female matron was murdered in the matron's cottage on the grounds by her illegitimate son, who was later hanged as punishment. Holy shit. Metal detecting the site of a murder ground. That's insane. That would be insane. Let's see. In pop culture, the 2009 illustrated novel Peter Pigeon of Snug Harbor. Okay, so he wrote something. The final scene of the movie, first showing a nudist camp, was filmed in Snug Harbor. Okay, naked people. The Ghost Hunters episode, Murdered Matron, featured the investigation of the Atlantic Paranormal Society. That's interesting. Parts of the music video, Married Light, Damsels in Distress. So it seems like a place where a lot of and this film series Iron Fist was partially filmed there. Awesome. But with so many, I mean, those film crews have lots of materials, and they probably I wouldn't be surprised if they renovated the part of the park that they I could direct you to an area there that no one will bother you. Let's see about that other place. What was it? The lighthouse on Roosevelt Island. First, let's look up Roosevelt Island. Bam. There it is. Oh, Roosevelt Island. I know exactly where this is. So we actually went out to metal detect close by, not Roosevelt Island, but this up here. Randall's Island. We've metal detected this area, obviously not where the ball fields are. But we metal detected here. Carlos had found many silver coins when we went. I'm trying to see, sort of using my head to figure out where we were exactly. It's hard to tell because we were under one of these bridges when we parked, and then we went to an area adjacent to it. So one of the green fields close by, and this actually, I have a video on my channel, on my YouTube channel. Let's go there. And let's also look up the permit again. Oops. Did not mean to click on the Forest Park thing. So yeah, the film crews kept outside the lots part of the preservation agreement. Ah, interesting.
So the entirety of Randall's Island is it's supposed to be okay to be metal detected. And Randall's Island Park is basically all the green areas of Randall's Island. So this area down here, I don't think we did this area. This is an urban farm, by the way. This is a field, which we can't do. 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 It's hard to find really good spots in Randall's Island. This area might be really good over here by the Harlem River Pathway. But you weren't asking about Randall's, right? You were asking about the Roosevelt Island, specifically the lighthouse. Okay, so let's see what Roosevelt Island has. We're just gonna move through it really quickly. Cornell Tech, these buildings, okay. Firefighters Field, we can't really detect where there's ball field, so okay. Dog run, so they have like a dog park here. Let's see, there's a chapel, there's another ball field. Jeez, there's not a lot of like natural green areas. This looks like one. But this is sort of the front of a building. Yeah, there's not a lot of like nice detectable areas. Another ball field, which doesn't count. This is actually a garden, a nice garden, so we can't detect there. Maybe this area is detectable over here. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Let's check the permit and actually see if Randall's Island is on the permit, guys. Because if it is, it might be something worth checking out and looking into a bit more. And then there's that lighthouse up top, and then this lighthouse park. That's what you were talking about, right? Alright, so we're going to check out the permit really quick one more time. Because we've done Randall's Island, but we haven't done Roosevelt Island. So you were talking about this lighthouse that's at the end, and this area that's been mostly untouched, and that looks like a beautiful place. They have public restrooms, loads of parking. That seems awesome. Alright, let me check that out. Where's the permit? Yeah, thank you. That's considered Manhattan. Randall's Island Park is good, but not Roosevelt Island, unfortunately. So Roosevelt Island is not, unless there's a different name for this park. No, it's just Lighthouse Park, and so Lighthouse Park is not here. So unfortunately, that is not on the metal detecting permit. It'll be cool to do it this way. Fort Washington Park. Where is that in Manhattan? So I clicked on Avenue instead of Park. Whoopsie. But it was pretty close. Okay, so Fort Washington Park, 179th Street. Okay, so it's close to where we were. We actually metal detected this up here, Inwood Park, which is a park with a lot of heavily forested areas. So when we went in, right, where did we metal detect? We metal detected this area right here, this field, and we found many silver coins. On this hill, this is like a small hill right here. Carlos had found a silver miraculous medallion. Rob had found a Standing Liberty quarter right here. This area over here, we explored it a little bit, me and Carlos, but it seemed land filled in and mostly new, unfortunately. This green area, it looks newer. This has old dirt over here, this is old dirt over here, and actually, I probably shouldn't say this on stream in case any New Yorkers are watching. By this exact tree, right here, I found a silver dime. Carlos was over here. I went to Carlos to show him, and I was getting a lot of wheat penny signals right by this one tree. And so when I went to show Carlos, and I turned around, a family had decided to do a picnic right where I had dug, and so I had left the tree and not gone back. And I really want to do more of the area by this tree, and sort of this ball field is has a fence lying around it. I found a lot of old wheat pennies here close to this ball field, and I found a very nice ring right around here. The ring was stamped 18K, but it was fake. It was a fake ring. But during the Depression, they were selling a lot of fake rings and things to make money, and it looked extremely old. Hey, lazy guy, how you doing? Whoa, lazy guy, did not expect you to run up on me on YouTube. What is up? That was awesome. I was like, what? Am I on Twitch by mistake? No, I'm definitely on YouTube. What am I doing now? I am scoping out places to metal detect. And so, yeah. So this park I've metal detected. We found a lot of silver. I want to go back. There's got to be more silver in this field. We've done a really good job by these trees. I'd want to go back and just double check. We haven't really detected this area much, and we haven't detected this area much. And I know this area up here is newer, and so there wasn't a lot to be had, but my god, the amount of silver coins we found sort of in this area and in this area, it was really awesome. And so Inwood Park is one of the parks that you can detect in Manhattan, and the other one that I was looking at just now is this park right here, which is Fort Washington Park. Let's see if there's any good fields. I hate the way Google sort of pixelates everything. It's sort of like, how do you say? It sort of kind of gets better, but it doesn't. Just in terms of, how do you get rid of the damn label? Yeah, there you go. Labels off. Thank you. Woo, that's 100,000 times better. Okay, let's see what we have here. It looks like there's not a lot of grassy areas. This area doesn't look too well done. These are a bunch of ball fields, so obviously we can't detect there. There's a green strip right here that we can metal detect. Might be old, but it might also be a place where a lot of people barbecue and stuff. So you can't do it if people are barbecuing. There's another park. Let's see, is it this one? What's this park called? LOL. That was good history lesson. You said earlier about that fake silver ring, a fake gold ring. Metal detecting sure is akin to history. Yeah. I still have that ring. If you want to see it, I'll get it right now. It's just up on my shelf. Just give me 1 second. I'll show you that. So when I first found that ring, it came out like pure black, and I had to clean it up a lot and shine it. Nope. I gotta put all the other rings back in that are not it. Yep, this one. And so when I shined it up, it looked beautiful, but obviously it's fake. So it's dark now. Fake gold basically gets tarnished because it's bronze very easily. And so, hey, wait, you can't see what I'm showing you. There you go. And then we'd, of course, have to get rid of the filter, the black and white filter. Bam. I'm still in black and white, aren't I? Okay, well, you know. I'm trying, guys. The webcam has to get the filter off. I had the filter on the scene and the webcam. That doesn't help. It says, Park Schmark detected all. So, yeah, this was the ring. Let's see where it's stamped, and then I could show you guys. Okay, it's sort of stamped right here on the inside. Of course, the light is horrible. But it's stamped 18K, and of course, it's not real. But I was so happy when I found it, and it was so dark. I cleaned it, and I saw it, the stamping on it, and it had turned out to be fake. So this was one of the finds from Inwood Park. That I had. And that area that I found it in also didn't get detected
very much because I found the ring. I went and I told Carlos, and we left very soon after. Let's just leave it at that. Let's put the black and white on because I like to stream with black and white on. I found another ring that was stamped 1/40, 10K. Nice. That's awesome. It was stamped 14K. Most of the gold was gone. Ah, that's disappointing. When the plating comes on. Yeah, I sort of have an entire jar full of rings. Fake rings. I keep the gold and silver separate. So when I say fake, I don't mean that it doesn't exist. Just not gold or silver. But yeah, so Fort Washington Park is on the metal detecting permit. Is Fort Washington Park just this little area? Hold on. It says Fort Washington Park, but okay, so the marker goes away. If you go down from here, is this still Fort Washington Park? No, this is the state park. This is okay. So Riverbank State Park we can't detect because it's a state park. I know that 100% for a fact. My family went there recently. I checked to see if it was on the permit. It wasn't. So basically, the only place is this area up here. And it does look like there's grassy area sort of in between the trees. The question is, was this park developed, this park right here that I'm currently looking at? Was this park developed or not? And it seems this is Heather Garden and Fort Tryon Park. Heather Garden and Fort Tryon Park, are they also detectable? Fort Washington Park is, but the other two are not. So we have to like ask, you know, what the boundaries of that park are. Fort Park. So Google is pretty awesome because the Parks Department has a website. The New York City Parks Department has a website for each and every single park. So you just put it in there, and then you look at the map of the park, and it tells you what the boundaries are, and then we can get a better idea of where we're looking for where I might want to metal detect. And by the way, Lazy Guy, again, I had taken your recommendation. For those who don't know, Lazy Guy follows me on Twitch. He watches me play video games in my elliptical streams, and he was there when I was doing the metal detecting stream on Twitch. And so, I'm taking your advice, definitely going to be doing another metal detecting stream this week. Not tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, because Wednesday is when the park's open. And hopefully it's easier to get there. Alright, so I hate that they don't have clear boundaries. Why don't you have clear boundaries? That doesn't make sense. That really doesn't make sense. It seems like all of the parks meld together on this map. That's really weird. That's really weird. Because, okay, so I'm assuming Fort Washington Park goes all the way down here. And then continues up. And then you have Bennett Rest. Bennett Rest is probably just this area here. And then Fort Tryon Park we can't metal detect. So, alright, we're just going to look at this area close to the George Washington Bridge, basically. That's it. And it looks like they have some fields here that we can't metal detect. What was on North Brother Island? North Brother Island. LOL, nice. I hope you find many silvers and gold. Me too. And safe as well. You hear it? Yeah, I'll be safe. No worries. Let's see. What was on what was on North Brother Island? I don't know what's on North Brother Island. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good spot in this park because me and Carlos, well, actually, before we move on to that island, I'm going to look here quickly at the history of this park. When was it acquired? in June 20th, 1776. So about 200, well over 150 years ago, basically. Pennsylvania battalions in the Continental Army began constructing a 5-bastion fort for General George Washington. Holy shit. That's awesome if it's the war. Que viva la revolución. General Washington watched helplessly from Fort Lee on New Jersey's side of the Hudson. The overall Battle of New York City from Manhattan to Long Island cost the Continentals several hundred lives and over 4,000 prisoners of war. Woo! Alright. Laws of 1894 mapped this park, which now stretches. So it's been a park from 1894, which stretches from 155th Street to Dyckman Street, and from Riverside Drive down to the Hudson River. Riverside. So let's see where 155th Street is on the map. So 155th Street is pretty dang low. 155th Street is right here. This is the boundary. Right here. 155th Street all the way up to Dyckman. Where's Dyckman? Where's Dyckman Street? It should be a major street, right? Dyckman Street is all the way up here. Holy smoke. So that's the boundary. From this all the way down here, all the way up here. That's the boundary of Fort Washington Park. Holy shit. That is freaking huge. That's what she said. Alright, we'll keep going. The City of New York officially acquired most of the property in 5 separate parcels between 1896 and 1927. That's silver coin range. Nice. All through condemnation, parks was granted jurisdiction at the time of those acquisitions, but some additional parkland was added from the Port of New York Authority in 1939, Board of Estimate, blah, blah, blah. Okay, in the early 20th century, many construction plans... No! That's not what we want. We don't want constructions circulated for this parkland. So those are just the plans, not that construction actually happened. In 1912, the West End Hotel wished to build a sister facility with views of the majestic Hudson. Developers advanced plans to build an open-air stage and comfort station on the shore of the Hudson in 1913. The theater was to be a reproduction of the ancient Greek statue. Inspiration Point Shelter, Parkway, open 1925. Wow, open in 1925. That's 190th Street. Let me see that. 1925 was a good time. 190th Street is right here. It's around here somewhere. 190th Street. Amelia Groman Park, is that it? Inspiration Point Center on Henry Hudson Parkway. Henry Hudson Parkway, let's look that up. I think this park has a lot to give. This Fort Washington Park. I think I found a good spot. So it does have ball fields, basketball fields, tennis courts, playground, benches, blah, 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 blah. That's not as important. But this park looks really cool. But some of the old earth was brought closer to the surface. Don't knock dirt that has been moved around. No, I mean, like I said, jewelry can always be found, and maybe sometimes, other things can be found. But in my experience, when you're digging, this is basically what I've been doing a lot, is going to parks and just surveying them and seeing what kind of dirt is there. And if I can determine that it has been landfilled in, let me give you a really good example of Metal Tech in North Carolina, of one that I've actually been to, and one in which I did find something freaking amazing. So let's go back. Where the hell is it?
Oh, that's Westchester. Okay. It should be around here. Okay, here. This is Van Cortlandt Park, right? And there's this huge green area right here, this beautiful, huge green area that we've detected. This area is horrible. Nobody's ever found a silver in this area. We found so many coins, and this park is extremely old, but the thing is that this has been landfilled in. This is where people run. There's a few ball fields here. We've detected down here. We've detected sort of this area. I've even detected this little green area. This is one of the most horrible areas to metal detect because it's been landfilled in. But there is a sort of entrance here into the woods. And there's an entrance here into the woods, sort of a walkway. There's a lot of like, how do you say, paths through the woods. Right here by the walkway into the woods, sort of where these two baseball fields are, but not in the actual baseball field, really close to the woods. I found an 1825 capped bust, which is one of the rarest coins to find while metal detecting. I think the video on my channel for that is I bust the cap or something like that. So yeah, that was really cool. And the dirt here is extremely old. Along this wooded area right here, very close to the woods, I also found a silver pendant. Many silver coins were found up here in this field, which is a lot older. So this park has really old dirt, but then it also has places that were landfilled in, which you can't find anything in. And so when I do my research, I try to see exactly what area of a park has been landfilled. And usually if they have multi-million-dollar reconstruction project and they can tell you exactly where that is, you know to avoid those areas. Hopefully I'm making sense what I'm saying and it isn't like, all this craziness happening. Yeah. Nearby where I live, there are piles of filter. I detect the piles and found some awesome stuff. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, usually in the fill, there's like so much trash. It's not like even a little bit of trash. You pass your detector over it and you get 100 different signals each swing. And it's impossible to dig up everything in that filter, all the trash that's in there. If we did, we would have to upturn all of the grass. Like, there wouldn't be much grass left with all the plugs and holes we would be digging. Not that we don't fill our holes, it's just that the amount of stuff, it's like literally in one swing, in the area of one swing, there will be 100 different signals in there. That's how bad the filter is up here in New York City that the Parks Department uses. But yeah, this park looks really good, the one I was looking at up here, Fort Greene Park. You had asked about one of the islands. Let's see what that is about. North Brother Island. I've never heard of that. In the Bronx. I think I have been there, actually. Is that behind Coney Island? No, it's a small thing. I don't think we are allowed to detect there. Let me just check the permit. It's considered Bronx. Is it considered Parkland, though? No, just North Brother Island. Nope. We're not. It's not on the permit, that island. It does look old, though. It does look like it has beach areas along the edge of it. Yeah, there's so many like weird little. So this is North Brother Island, this is South Brother Island. There's so many weird areas here. There's Mill Rock, like little islands surrounding Manhattan and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely really interested. I'm glad I did this because I wouldn't have known about the history of Fort Washington Park. And yeah, I'm excited to try and go and check this place out. So definitely gonna let all my friends know. With that said, guys, it is 12:16 here a.m. I did not think this was gonna go this long.
but it has. Thank you for being here. Thanks for everybody who came in to talk. Thank you, Metal Detecting North Carolina, Lazy Guy. Thanks to New Level Auto for being here, for hanging out with us. Thanks, Daniel Martel, for hanging out in the beginning. Let's see who first came. Marty. Thanks to Marty for being here. Fort Totten Park is Civil War era. I would think all the beach areas would be fair game to detect. Yes, if they're run by the Parks Department. So for beach areas that are fair game, it's Coney Island, Brighton Beach, Manhattan Beach, Orchard Beach, Rockaway Beach. Jacob Riis Beach is actually a state park, so it's not okay to metal detect there. Thanks to Willie. Thanks for Brooklyn Treasure Hunter, John Perez. Just wanted to thank everybody who was here. Metal Detecting New York City. Gabriel for hanging out for a little bit. It's probably past his bedtime at this point. Yeah. And Carlos and Rob, always much appreciated when they stop by. All right. Good night, Robert. Hey, Robert, what did you think of that park? Good night, Michael, as well. I would think all beaches are fair game. Yeah, Rob, I think that Fort Washington Park looks really good to me. I am excited to go and try that out. It looks very old. It doesn't look like it was disturbed much. And that area about around 195th Street was actually made in the early 1900s, so we could that would be a good place to start. Thanks, Lazy Guy, as well. Whoa, I almost forgot about Lazy Guy. How could I do that? Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. We'll see you on the next one.